morning, viewers. This is Global Entertainment News TV. I am your host, Bisola, and welcome to our newspaper review segment. Let's start with the punch. Marks failure. JAMB. VCs to review UTMA results Thursday. Marks failure. JAMB. VCs to review UTMA results Thursday. Up to the next. Rectors, provosts, principals, examiners to meet JAMB chiefs, candidates decries result discrepancy. Rectors, provosts, principals, examiners to meet JAMB chiefs, candidates decries result discrepancy. Moving on to next. Political firefight. Saraki panel mobilize PDP bigwigs against defection. Political firefight. Saraki panel mobilize PDP bigwigs against defection. Up to next. Fuel import ban fears reignite Dangote. Marketers row. Fuel import ban fears reignite Dangote. Marketers rose. Next headline. 9 banks earn 2.3 trillion naira interest on 61.6 trillion naira loan. 9 banks earn 2.3 trillion naira interest on 61.6 trillion naira loan. Moving on to next. FG voided June 12 to avoid paying Abiola's 45 billion naira, says Lamido. FG voided June 12 to avoid paying Abiola 45 billion naira, says Lamido. Up to next. Tinubu, Akpabio, governors pay clerk final respect. Tinubu, Akpabio, governors pay clerk final respect. Moving on to next. Cash transfer mixed millions of needy Nigerians, says World Bank. Cash transfer mixed millions of needy Nigerians, World Bank. Up to next. Obasa, APC protesters clash over LG primary outcome. Obasa, APC protesters clash over LG primary outcome. Up to next. US shares Wigwe helicopter crash report with FG. US shares Wigwe helicopter crash report with FG. That's it for the punch. Move to the Vanguard. Special report. How lives get wasted daily on Nigeria's highways of oil. Special report. How lives get wasted daily on Nigeria's highway of oil. Up to next. Nigeria's FX inflow under threat as US moves 5% tax on diaspora remittance. Nigerian FX inflow under threat as US moves 5% tax on diaspora remittance. Up to next. Nigeria's leaders undermining national security. Nigeria's leaders undermining national security. Next. Over 100 military personnel, 200 civilians killed in 5 months, says report. Over 100 military personnel, 200 civilians killed in 5 months, says report. Up to next. Conference hall. Experts brainstorm on government performance at midterm today. Conference hall. Experts brainstorm on government performance at midterm today. Up to next. Lamido to Tinubu. Pay Abiola's family 45 billion naira federal government owes him. Lamido to Tinubu. Pay Abiola's family 45 billion naira federal government owes him. Moving on to next. Lagos, LG polls. Protest rock Agege over alleged imposition of candidate. Lagos LG poll. Protest rocks Agege over alleged imposition of candidate. Up to next. Unending crisis. PDP in ICU may die, says ex-Benue governor Suswam. Unending crisis. PDP in ICU may die, says ex-Benue governor Suswam. The next headline. Reps reject bill on rational presidency. INEC's power to register political party. Reps reject bills on national presidency. INEC power to reject INEC power to register political party. That's it for the Vanguard. Move to the Nation. I remain focused on reforms despite criticisms, says Tinubu. I remain focused on reforms despite criticisms, says Tinubu. The next one. Ekiti recruit 500 for Amotekun. Ekiti recruit 500 for Amotekun. To the next. 10 million out of school pupils for classroom within 2 years. 10 million out of school pupils for classroom within 2 years. To the next headline. Why we are not applying for loans by Southeast students. Why we are not applying for loans by Southeast students. Moving on to the next. Agriculture grappling with challenges despite efforts. Agriculture grappling with challenges despite efforts. Up to next. Court fixed June 27 for judgment in Natasha's suit against Akpabio orders. Court fixed June 27th for judgment in Natasha's suit against Akpabio orders. That's it for the Nation. We move to the Guardian. National Security Summit. Stakeholders reject plan. Flay stalled proposals. High military casualty. Stakeholders reject plan. Flay stalled proposals. High military casualties. Moving on to the next. Danjude wife orders to face prosecution as court rejects application over alleged fraud. Danjude wife orders to face prosecution as court rejects application over alleged fraud. Up to next. Nigeria loses $80 billion to illicit financial flow as debt servicing globs 70% of revenue. Nigeria loses $18 billion to illicit financial flows as debt servicing globs 70% of revenue. Up to next. Reps reject bill proposing rational presidency. Reps reject bill proposing rational presidency. Up to next. UNICEF link 50% of childhood deaths in Nigeria to malnutrition. UNICEF linked 50% of childhood deaths in Nigeria to malnutrition. To the next one. UTME 19-year-old commits suicide in Lagos over low score. UTME 19-year-old commits suicide in Lagos over low score. To the next. NIDCOM confirms 20 million Nigerians abroad as immigration dialogue emphasizes protection. NIDCOM confirms 20 million Nigerians abroad as immigration dialogue emphasizes protection. To the next one. Egypt loud additional for transforming Africa. Egypt loud additional for transforming Africa. Up to next. Nigerians brace for impact as US propose 5% tax on remittance. Nigerian brace for impact as US propose 5% tax on remittance. To the next. Nigeria must work, says Obasanjo, as Lamido seek closure to June 12 saga. Nigeria must work, says Obasanjo, as Lamido seek closure to June 12 saga. And that's it for our newspaper review segment. Thank you for joining us today. Be sure to join us again next time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more news and updates on Global Entertainment News TV. I've been your host, Busola. Have a blessed day. Bye.